larger part of me, is just like 90% of me wanted to sit and enjoy that moment and whatever it had to offer. But 10% of me was like, this is not right. Stand up right now, go outside. I said, I can't stand up. I can't stand up. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of A Beautiful Chaos. My name is Debola. How are you doing? If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you very much. To my older subscribers, thank you for your constant love and support. I love you so much. So let us go straight into today's video. And today's video is going to be gist. I'm going to be gisting, or is it gossip? But I'm not just sharing it randomly. The reason why I want to share it is I want people to pick one or two lessons where it's applicable, and also for you to know that it's good to be self-confident. It's good to know that no, I can never do that, but let's always ask God for grace, because I can never, it could never be me. People of God, it's going to be you 101 million times over and over again. So never just, don't be too quick to condemn people. Don't be too quick to say, oh no, I can't do that. It's good to know what you can do, what you cannot do. But above all, always add it to that. But God should help me, Sha. So before I go into the video, things I want you to imbibe, either you're a man or you're a woman. Boundaries is very important. Set boundaries, set rules, and let those rules, let those boundaries even bound you yourself. And also, when you're vulnerable, know who you talk to. So the gist, I'm not going to mention the year. I'm not going to mention the state I was that time. And I'm not going to, what else will I not mention? I will not mention the other person's name, because some of my friends are FBI. In fact, I don't know why they are not in the US already. Some of them are FBI. They are decoders. They'll start decoding, and I don't want anybody to decode who it was or when it was. So let us go into the gist. It happened that period I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot, and a lot was going through me as well. And then my husband, it wasn't my husband at that time yet, let us be honest, it wasn't my husband at that period yet, but we were together already and we had something serious at that point. We knew that we wanted each other, we wanted to settle down together, but it was not my husband yet. So just a disclaimer, it wasn't even my fiancé yet. It was not my fiancé, it was still my boyfriend that time, but we were quite serious at that period. So that is to clear that. So that period I was going through a lot was going through me. And I discussed what was bothering me with my boyfriend then, who is now my husband. Guy, this is what I'm going through. And I was like, it's not a big deal, because it has the habit of, it's not a big deal. And actually, looking back now at that period, what I was going through was not a big deal. But it was so magnified in my head. It was so big in my head. Like, I felt like the whole thing was going to swallow me up. But you know that men are very quick to just give you the solution to your problem. At times, men don't have time to validate your emotions, to serenade you, to pamper you, to say, oh no, I understand what you're going through. It does not have that time. He just said, it's not a big deal. It's not part of it. And me, it's not part of what? So I was dwelling on that issue, and it kept on consuming me. I was crying. I was crying on with my issue activities at that point, but I was not happy. So I was alone in that period. No, in fact, my boyfriend then was not in the same state that I was. He was enjoying his own life with his friends. Me, I was sulking up in sadness. I would just go for my work, come back home. I was not mingling. I was not, in fact, I was supposed to enjoy my life. I was thinking, my friend, a very good friend of mine, is a guy. Let us call him, what name should we give him now, that you people will not decode? What name? Let us call him P. Let us call him P, or let us call him C. Anyone that comes to my mouth there. So the guy has been my G. You know, when you say someone is your G, this guy has been my G for over 3 years. What's even 3 years? My G since Tupe. So that midnight, no, because it felt like no one was understanding what I was going through. And P is the type of person that you can go to when you're going through something. You know, some people are just gifted like that. Was he gifted? I don't know. I shall know that if you're going through a lot, or if I'm going through a lot, I know for myself that, and I talk to this guy, he has a way of making me feel better, you know, lifting my mood, making me happy. So that midnight, I just sent him a message, you know, are you up for a talk? And then he called me almost immediately. At that time, don't even let me talk about that point. So he called me almost immediately. And he used to call me, oh, my pumpkin. He said, my pumpkin, are you okay? I just started crying. So you know what? I'm going to come to your side tomorrow and we're going to talk about it. So the next day I was just indoors, and then he called. He said, I'm on my way. I'm driving down already. Just so you know. And then something in me just told me that he should not come to my house. Mind you, he has always been coming to my house. He comes to my house regularly, like not regular like that, but my house is not a strange place to him. He's not a stranger in my house. You know, we gist, we talk, he buys me food, we eat, I cook for him at times. So like, you know, is that just that type of person? So that day, something in me just said, no, let us meet somewhere else. Even me myself, in fact, I don't understand. So I said, let us meet somewhere else. He was like, why? He said, why? I said, so that I would just throw out, so I would get fresh air. I said, okay. Then he said, okay. He told me the name of the bar. I said, I know the bar quite all right. Let us meet there. We're going to eat. So I dressed up. I went. And you know how bars can be. There's VVIP. So it was in the VVIP testing. I know that VVIP can be kind of enclosed. Not enclosed like that. But then if you're there, people in the common space in the bar, they will know who is in there. So we were there, we're just saying, mind you, my boyfriend at that point, he knew P. He knew him to be my friend, but they don't talk. P also knew that I had a boyfriend. You know, immediately he saw me, he was like, oh, baby girl, what's wrong with you? Just the normal way, nothing out of the blues to be normal. And he has this slang. Anytime I have to talk to him about something I'm going through, he's just going to say, you know what, dump it on me. So that when I saw him, he said, the usual line, dump it on me. And then I just started, this is what is wrong with me. So I can't, and he was just like, oh, you know what, I'm so sorry. You know, the normal way he used to validate my feelings. And that is something for me. When I tell you that this is wrong with me, you just don't display that everything is going to be fine. I know it's going to be fine, but I need you to work with me in this my emotional confusion. So, you know, he was validating my emotions. Then, do you want to eat something? I said, I don't want to eat. I'm overwhelmed and all of that. So, and then all of a sudden, there was this moment of silence. Music was playing in the background. People of God, every recipe that is needed, you know, this romantic music was playing in the background. Soft music, delight in that VVIP that we were in that room. Is it a room? Because it does not have door, but it is not open. If you people know it, if you get it already. So the light too was, everything was working together in synergy. Emotions started rising. Everything was cooking. You know, I was vulnerable already, and I was just, it was staring at me. But I don't believe he did it deliberately, because sincerely, I never saw him as that kind of person. Until now, I don't believe that he's that kind of person, because I've never heard such about him. And then he was looking at me with this, you know, this sweet, this loving eyes. And then I was just looking at him like, and I was just looking at him, I was smiling at him. He was smiling at me, so I was smiling at him. And then it was just like, no, just be happy, okay? Just be fine, okay? And then it was stroking my hands. I just believed that he was comforting me. But with people of God, before I knew it, something in me wanted to, you know, go into his arms and Something in me wanted to go into his arms and, embrace him and kiss him. Of course, we would not even do anything serious in that type of place because, like I said, it does not have a door. But we might have kissed, we might have, and there was just something in me was just pushing, like, just go and meet this guy already, just hug him already, just kiss him already, just do this thing already. And a tiny voice in me was resisting, like, Debola, stand up. And when I was like, I can't stand up. Stand up, okay. In fact, anytime I remember that moment, it makes me laugh so much because it was a war. Larger part of me is just like 90% of me wanted to sit and enjoy that moment and whatever it had to offer. But 10% of me was like, this is not right. Stand up right now. Go outside. I said, I can't stand up. I can't stand up. I'm enjoying the way I'm feeling. And that is how you feel at times. If you've been in that kind of situation before, if you've ever cheated on your partner, I did not cheat on him because the Spirit of God helped me. So, long story short, I don't know where I got the strength to stand up from that room. I stood up and I went outside straight, and I got some air into my face immediately, and I did not even go out with a purse. I didn't go out with a bag, just my phone. I just stopped the bike immediately and I took a bike to my home. Till date, I don't know where I got the courage to stand up from that room. I don't know, because if it was left to my strength, left to my morals, my morals would have failed. It was not morals. I have morals in some areas, but that day it was not morals that saved me. I believe it was God. It was His strength. By His strength, I stood up and I went to. Then He called me. What was wrong? Why did you live like that? Blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what? I just remember that I left my cooker on. I remember that I left my cooker on. So immediately I remember. Sorry for leaving that way. Immediately I remembered. I just let them come and turn it up. You could have waited for me to go and drop it. I said, don't worry, I'm sorry. Should I? You didn't even finish what you were eating. Should I drive you? Should I drive home? We should go out again. I said, no worry, you know what? My stomach is turning me. And at this point, I just think I needed to rest. I was just telling different type of inconsistent lies. And I got home that day, I sat and I was just looking like a fool, like, what happened there? And I was just like, what happened there? Where did it all, like, if the emotions was cooking, it was eating up. And that type of situation, it will feel as if you don't have the strength to stand up. But I'm glad that I was able to leave that atmosphere that day and nothing happened. Because now thinking back, I'm not the type of person that can hide certain things from someone I love. I cannot hide certain things. Like, my conscience is too strong. I will end up saying it to myself. I know the surprising part out of all of this thing. The friendship between myself and this guy died a natural death, like barely few weeks after that incident. We never talked about staring about each other and all of that. But I don't know why, but that friendship died. And I don't want to make assumptions, to be very honest. I don't want to draw assumptions since I've not even been able to communicate with him. I don't want to say that, he stopped talking to me because he couldn't get what he wanted. I don't want to infer, if you get it. But at the same time, I can't just help it, like, is it true? But has he just been grooming me all of those years for an opportunity? I can't help but think about that at times. Like, was he actually grooming me for that kind of opportunity? Because, he already knows that he's the type of person I go to when I'm vulnerable. He knows that anytime I'm vulnerable, I come to him. So as much as I don't want to infer, I don't want to draw my assumptions that it's that kind of person. But at the same time, I can't just help at times to think about that. Was he that type of person all along and I never knew? Because this dude, like I said, our friendship was over 3 years. He used to come to my place. If I'm not feeling fine, he'd buy me drugs. He stays in my room at times. I will sleep and wake up. Like, he minds his business. There's nothing, he never crossed boundaries. I never even caught him looking at me in a certain way. I don't want to draw assumptions, but at times it just gives me this, it gives me mixed feelings, to be very honest. And I said that our friendship died a natural death. A few weeks after that, I just discovered that I was not able to reach him on WhatsApp. He wasn't replying. Till date, I don't know if he blocked me or not, to be sincere. I don't know if he blocked me or not. But even calling his phone, I couldn't reach him from that time till when I changed my phone. I don't have his number anymore. But I've been hearing rumors that Ijapa, I don't know, to be very honest. I don't know where he is right now. I don't know what he's doing. And I don't even know whether... So the reason why I'm sharing this video is either you're a guy or you're a lady. If you're vulnerable, if something is wrong with you, probably emotionally, you're going through something, you're going through a lot, or a lot is going through you, it's not advisable that the opposite sex is your shoulder to cry on. It's not advisable. The opposite sex is not... You need a therapist most times. See, I've had therapy over the years. At times, that thing you're going through, that person that you feel that, when I talk to him, I feel light, I feel better, the load just comes up. You don't need that person, because when you're vulnerable, things you did not plan for can happen. And when certain things happen, you cannot undo them. Before you say, I can never do this, I can never do that, always ask for grace and make sure that that thing you're saying you can never do it, you're not just saying it based on how much you trust yourself, based on how much you know yourself. Make sure that that thing you're saying that I can never do it is backed up with systems you set around yourself. Oh, I can never embezzle money if I'm in a public office. Have you been around huge money? Have you been around money? I'm talking about money. I'm not talking about little change. Have you been around money? And have you been around money, and at that point you have a situation, probably your wife is dying, your daughter is dying, your husband is dying, and you need money. So it's not just about trusting your own strength. That is my own point here. We must always rely on God for grace, and also setting systems. So if you say that I can never embezzle money, if you happen to be around money that is not yours, money that you can embezzle and nobody will know, what are the systems around your life to help you not to embezzle it? So if you're saying I can never cheat on my husband, what have you put in place? What are the rules you're binding yourself with to make sure that you don't mess up? Even God in heaven, he has binded himself with his words. God can do anything, but there are certain things he's not going to do because he's bounded by his words. God deliberately do that. So how much more humans? So we should please set systems around ourselves, around our lives, that will help us. Systems that will prevent us from falling into certain pits. It is beyond saying I can't do it. It is beyond saying it can never be me. It will be you 1,000,001 times if you're not careful. And if at all you must talk to the opposite sex when you're going through a lot, avoid talking to them in your home, in their office, except they are not the only one using that office. Avoid meeting with the opposite sex when you know that you're vulnerable, especially when you know that your intent is not to mess up or mess around. When you know that you have clear intentions, avoid meeting with them in your home, their office, or your friends, or in anywhere that you have unnecessary privacy. Avoid it. You don't need privacy. That privacy is a setup. Go and talk to them in a restaurant, in a cafe. In fact, like now that day we were in a VVIP section of the bar. Sit in the common area of the bar where people will be seeing you. The devil, if it's devil, the devil that will make you people kiss each other in the open, it's not, the devil is going to try. So if you have to talk to the opposite sex, at least if you don't want anybody else to be there, in fact, I would say let someone else be there. All these things we are going through at times, it's not a big deal that other people should know. It's not a big deal. You are the one that is hyping your problems. You are the one that is hyping what you're going through. People are going through worse. And if someone know about what you're going through and they laugh at you, they are lost. They are not going to talk about it forever. And if they talk about it forever, congratulations, it means their life is so empty. If what they have to be talking about is your issues, what you're going through, all the days of their lives, and it shows how really empty their lives is. It means they don't have events in their life to talk about. They are not busy. So that is the gist I want to share with you guys, and I hope that you've learned one or two things from this video. I strongly believe that you understand certain things better now, and you're not just making blind statements of I cannot, I can never. Don't do it. If you're yet to subscribe to the channel, here is me begging you, please and please subscribe to the channel right now. Please subscribe and share this video to your friends, share to your family, share to your enemies, share to your boss, share to anyone. I'm going to see you in my next video. Till then, bye.